So last night, the Milwaukee Bucks made a trade for Jrue Holiday as well as a trade for Bogdanovic, and they underpaid for Bogdanovic. Honestly, I mean DiVincenzo, Ilyasova, and DJ Wilson. Like, come on now. That's DiVincenzo's good, but I don't see him ever surpassing a average starter. I don't really know, but and then they overpaid, massive overpay for Jrue Holiday. And can you imagine if Giannis leaves? They gave up their 2025 unprotected as well as their 2027 unprotected, and then pick swaps in 2 other years and their pick this year from Indiana. So if Giannis doesn't sign that supermax, they are entirely screwed. The reports are coming out saying that they're probably going to end up resigning him, but just the hypothetical if he doesn't is just so funny to me. But these players will fit really well on the team. Like, they definitely needed more shooting besides Chris Middleton, and they got that in Bogdanovic. And they needed a point guard that wasn't named Eric Bledsoe. Preferably they should have just kept Malcolm Brogdon and not traded him. But what are you gonna do? So now they overpaid for Jrue Holiday, but he's on the team now, and it's crazy because he can walk after like 1 or 2 years. I can't remember. I think it was 2 years on his deal. It might have been a player option, but he can walk, and that's just so crazy. Like, imagine giving up all that for 1 or 2 years of an older Jrue Holiday. Like, unless he comes back as that primary with that primary point guard role that he had in Philadelphia his All Star year. Unless he has that, if he doesn't have that mentality, he is not going to be anywhere close to worth what they give up. And if they get bounced out of the Eastern Conference Finals again this year, that's going to suck so bad. I can't imagine. And they still have Mike Budenholzer. He's still their coach. That's the thing to keep in mind. He's always been a great coach in the regular season, but he's not been a good playoff coach. He was the coach of that Atlanta Hawks team with 4 All-Stars, and I think it was the second round they got outed by LeBron. I'm not. Yeah, someone fact check me on that. I think that was it though. And yeah, and just at the very least, Milwaukee is showing Giannis that they're willing to spend big for him. Not get big in return, but they're willing to spend big. And they got decent assets in return. It's 3 firsts for Jrue Holiday is still crazy, and 2 pick swaps. And George Hill is one of the best backup point guards in the league. He led the league in 3-point percentage last season. That's just so crazy that I don't know. They gave up 3 firsts, 2 pick swaps, and they're like one of the best backup point guards in the league to get Jrue Holiday. That just seems like an overpay, man. I hope for the sake of the Bucks and keeping Giannis that it isn't an overpay, but it probably is. Because it would suck so much. Because just for small market teams in general, if Giannis leaves and goes to like Miami or Golden State or Toronto, that would be such a huge blow to small market teams. Like, that just shows because like small market teams now, it's just Giannis and like Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell, but I don't know, man. I hope he stays. I love his. Well, you can't not love his game. Back-to-back MVPs, like 30 points per game, I think. He's an insane player. It's just can't do it in the playoffs, or hasn't proved to be able to do it in the playoffs yet. He's only like 25 still, so he still has a lot of time left. But if he, I don't know, man. I think they're obviously they're going to be contenders. They have Giannis, but and then they gave up. What more do I need to talk about? I think that's it. I think, yeah, because starting five: Jrue Holiday, Bogdanovic, Chris Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez. That's an elite defensive team right there. They're going to be really good on the defensive end of the ball. And Yeah, I mean they did gut to a certain extent their team because Robin Lopez and Wesley Matthews have both opted out of their um, players options. So I mean, off the top of my head, I can't even like list anyone else. Thanasis. They have Thanasis. Um, they really don't have much depth, do they? Huh. Oh well. Well, that's it.